Sorry.
All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. LA Squared is back for a very exciting broadcast today. I'm Laura Alley.
And I'm Lisa Allen.
And I'm Keith Miklas.
Yes, and this is Keith Miklas with us.
Hi, everybody. How are you? It's great to be here today. How are you doing?
It's great. They all say it's great. They're doing great.
You know what? Laura's doing better than us because she's in Florida, and I think it's warm there.
I'm in Florida, and today we're talking about bucket list items. But what I did over the weekend was something I'm actually kind of proud of myself for. I decided at the last minute to come to Florida, and I threw my little doggie in the car, and I drove from Chatham, New Jersey to Florida by myself, just me and the dog.
You did not.
I did too. I did it. I didn't drive at night, so I did stop on Sunday before the Super Bowl at a dog-friendly hotel and stayed over and then got up and did the rest of the way. But the funny part is I thought I was going to Amelia Island because that's where I booked the place. But when I got here and once I crossed, I didn't use the GPS the whole way because I'm anti-GPS until I got to Florida to find the address. And then I realized I booked the wrong condo and I'm in Jacksonville Beach, but I actually like it. It's kind of nice. So now my
wait, did you actually get to Amelia Island? And
no, well, I was almost there, and I'm like, why isn't this telling me to go off here? And then I'm like, wait a minute, where am I? That's what happens when you book Airbnbs while drinking wine. Same thing happened when I bought my car on Carvana. I was drinking wine, and I bought a car that was a manual. I'm digressing. Anyway, we're here today.
Can I ask Keith? Have you ever? Oh, Keith, I'm sorry, I'm like breaking up over here. My background's weird. Have you ever booked an Airbnb on wine?
I have booked about 5 or 6 Airbnbs, and I had some bad experiences with some of them. So one of them, they had a dog that wouldn't let me into my apartment. Or my God. Rental. It was very territorial. It was a good animal. It just, who is this guy walking around my yard? So I couldn't get in. I had to yell for the owner. I was crying.
Yeah.
Well, that should be an episode. That has to be another episode. Bad Airbnbs.
Oh yeah, we had one for my son's graduation in Delaware. I booked one for my family. It was so bad we didn't even go in it. We were like, we're not even going in. I just booked a hotel. That was terrible.
Did you have to pay for
it? Nice. It's nice. I mean, ours is newly redone here. Like the other ones around us are a little not that nice, but it's nice. I mean, it's good for the dog. There's a front and the back. But anyway, it was an adventure, and now I feel liberated that I could throw my dog in the car and drive to Florida.
That's amazing. I'm proud of you. I don't think I would have done that. That's amazing. I've driven a lot through the country, though. I mean, it's not like I've never done it before, but I get car sick, so I don't love driving.
Well, it's kind of good for me to be in the car, like, because sometimes it's the only time I have alone, you know, between politics, work, and 3 kids and the dog. It's like, I could be alone. I listened to a whole audiobook, and that was a good book, The Assistants. We'll talk about that another time. It's kind of cool about cheating companies on their expense reports. It was interesting. Because I used to work for Xerox, a big company, and I get that expense report thing. And then I've been binge watching the Gilmore Girls here. And I am. Have you ever watched the Gilmore Girls?
No.
Lisa?
No.
Okay, I'm totally digressing. But Luke, the star, I love him. I feel like I'm in love. So I got to find myself a Luke. Let's make a podcast on that, how Laura finds a Luke.
We have a lot of podcasts to do.
We have a lot to do.
Airbnbs. What shows to binge on? Finding Luke, and wait, what was the other one?
Bad Airbnbs, putting dogs in the car and taking a last minute road trip solo.
Yeah, that's
a
handful. How old is your dog?
12.
Okay, so he's probably easier to.
He's so easy. He loves a dog. He loves a car.
Okay, Tucker would be stopping every 10 minutes. I think my golden.
He's the best in the car. He's my buddy.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here to talk bucket list, New Jersey bucket list. All of our favorite state, the state of New Jersey. New Jersey gets a bad rap, doesn't it, Keith?
Yeah, you know, I think it's unfortunate. For most people, New Jersey is little more than what they see as they fly into Newark Airport or drive up the New Jersey Turnpike. And there's a reason that this state is called the Garden State. And in my opinion, it's the best state in the union.
I agree. It's got everything. It's got the beach. You're close to the city. It's got the mountains. You could go skiing. It's got cute, beautiful, charming downtowns, which I love. I think it's the best.
And the people are wonderful. Some of the best people I've ever met in my life have been in New Jersey. They're just fantastic.
You're totally, totally right. I love it. I love New Jersey. So hopefully New Jersey's on a path to, being able to keep more people here. You know, we want all our kids to stay here and grow our families here and our extended family. So what do you have to say? You want to kick it off with what your thoughts are on the New Jersey bucket list?
Okay, well, first, let me just tell you a little bit about myself. And before I get started, of course, I would like to say thank you to both you and Lisa for having me on your show. It is such a pleasure to be here. And of course, happy Valentine's Day to both of you. Today is February 13th, 2025, and tomorrow's the big day. So happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to you.
Oh, thank you. So the reason that Lisa asked me to be on the show, one of the reasons, is that I'm actually a transplant. I moved here when I was about 14 years old, originally from Buffalo, New York. And I've been here for, 30, 35 years, something like that. So I have a real perspective on the state and can really appreciate all that New Jersey has to offer. I used to go down the shore. I lived down the shore for 15 years. I graduated from Rutgers University, which is the State University of New Jersey. And I have friends from the Delaware Bridge all the way up to the Tappan Zee Bridge. So it's great to be here. I have a list of about 12 things that I want to talk about.
Well, and Keith, don't forget, we started talking about this. You are a member of the Historical Preservation Society, right?
The Summit Historical Society, yes.
Yep. Yeah.
And
so you're big on history and you know our town pretty well. So I thought, and you're funny. So
thank you.
You have a good sense of humor. So I thought you were the perfect person to come on today and talk about our bucket list.
All right.
I wait, can you guys see that? See how my teeth black out?
Why is that doing that?
Huh? It's my background. I might have to just do the regular background. Sorry.
I was wondering if you lost a few teeth since our last episode.
It's funny. All right. Sorry, Keith. Go ahead.
All right. So let's get started here because with Patterson Falls. So when Lisa approached me and said, hey, Keith, we need to do a bucket list. What are things in New Jersey we need to see before we all kick the bucket, right? And I asked about 30 different people, got input from the Historical Society, people who've lived here, and I came up with 8 things that they all kind of agreed that you should see. And the first I want to talk about is Patterson Falls. So as you can see, Patterson Falls is an absolutely beautiful waterfall. And it's only about 30 minutes from New York City. So I'm going to read a little blurb. This is all GPT stuff that I did, but it's pretty good. Patterson Falls, a majestic 77-foot waterfall on the Passaic River, is a natural marvel located in Patterson, New Jersey, just about 20 miles west of New York City. This powerful cascade, formed by glaciers thousands of years ago, played a critical role in the early industrial development of the United States. The falls' immense water power fueled the mills and factories of Patterson, transforming it into a thriving industrial center in the 18th and 19th centuries. Today, the falls and its surrounding area are preserved as part of the Patterson Great Falls National Historic Park, offering visitors a glimpse into the region's rich history and natural beauty. So you should see up on the screen right there a picture of the falls. And it's just a beautiful hike. If you want to get away, if you're in New York City or maybe live in North Jersey or anywhere in New Jersey, it's accessible. It's an easy walking path. The picture I chose, you can see, you can walk through there. Have either of you ever been there?
I've been there. Have you, Lisa?
No, I haven't. I was just looking it up on Google, actually.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it looks exquisite. Like, is it huge?
Cool. It's big.
Wow.
Where
do you park, Laura? Like, how do you get
There's
there?
a little lot, right on the main entrance, and then you could just climb up and see. It's really cool. And it's really in the middle of Patterson.
Really?
Yeah, it's super cool. I recommend it. It's a good day trip.
Okay.
All right, let's go on to the
wait. I'm not done with Patterson Falls yet. You see,
all right.
Having been born in Buffalo, New York, which is near Niagara Falls, I was a bit of a snob here. I said, well, it's not Niagara Falls. I mean, it's just Patterson Falls. And then I actually saw it and I said, wow, this is really stunning. So it's an easy trip. Put it on your bucket list and make a point of getting out there. It's only, 30 minutes from New York.
I love to hear that it rivals Niagara. I'm looking at these pictures.
It doesn't quite rival Niagara, but it's still beautiful.
Yeah, but it is super cool. Super cool.
Exactly. Okay, so now before I continue, I want to talk a little bit about 2 of the main roads that go through New Jersey. Okay, we have the Garden State Parkway, and the New Jersey Turnpike. Okay, this is very, very important. If you've ever spoken with anyone from New Jersey, you'll always hear them say, what exit? What exit? But exits have very important, almost spiritual significance to me. That's not funny, because look, I went to high school at exit 117A, which is 118. And as I drive down the parkway, I get a little nostalgic, At exit 82, Seaside Heights, I went there, for a week after graduation. And exit 98, Belmar, New Jersey. I played, some of them, huh? I played in volleyball tournaments down there. I'm currently at exit 142 off the Garden State Parkway. So the parkway, go on.
No, so are we.
Oh, yeah. Well, you are. And that's the thing, is that you're kind of either a parkway person or a turnpike person, right? Because the parkway exits run from exit 1, which is down near Wildwood, or exit 4, I think it is, all the way up to the Tappan Zee Bridge, which is about exit, 171? Is that it? I think it's in the 170s. So. Okay, but then you've got your turnpike people, which is a piece of I-95. And these two roads cross, okay? So the Garden State Parkway swings along the shore towns down near the Jersey Shore, which, surprise, surprise, number 1 on our list. We'll get there. But the turnpike kind of swings out west as you go south, but then heads up towards New York City. So if you want to go to Giant Stadium, the Meadowlands, you go on the turnpike. So some exits there are, now you see, I'm not a turnpike person. So I think exit 4 is Philly. So South Jersey, exit 10 is Rutgers University, and exit 16W, if memory serves, is the Meadowlands. I don't know. Do you have any? And
7A is Great Adventure. I remember that from when I was little.
See, there you go.
And Trenton, the State House.
Oh, that's right. If you think that way to go.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's so funny how everybody's like, oh, what exit do you live off? That's how people know each other in New Jersey. No, I grew up in Colorado. No one ever asked you what exit you get off on for your house. What exit do you live at? That doesn't exist anywhere else other than New Jersey.
That's awesome. Recently over the summer, I think it was, I went to Curtis Bashaw. He was running for Senate's birthday party, and he's a hotelier in Cape May. I didn't know this, Keith, but when you get that far south, because I hadn't been to Cape Way since I was little, it actually stops. The parkway stops.
Yeah, it's shocking.
There's no more road. And you have to go right or left. That's when you're at the tip. It's kind of cool.
That is cool.
Wow. It's like being at the center of the universe, right?
Exactly.
Like first in New York City.
Yeah, I love it.
I think living in New Jersey, you're in the center of the universe, don't you?
That's right.
I would agree.
I agree.
Wait, and I will tell you though, it is a little confusing when you are trying to get on the turnpike from the parkway. Like I always seem to miss those exits. And the other night I went down to Trenton, Laura. I was going down we were going to Writers University, and I ended up not getting on the turnpike early enough. So then I dropped too far down, and then I ended up going around Trenton.
Oh my God.
You got to be careful because you can never get off that highway. Like once you're on,
you're right.
Like Hotel California Highway.
Oh my God. You're totally right.
All right. Go ahead. Sorry, Keith. Go ahead.
No, we could endlessly talk. Every single one of those exits I have some attachment to in one way or another, pretty much. So,
I think Bruce Springsteen should have written a song for you about the exits on the Parkway.
Well, he's on my list, actually, when we talk about Asbury Park. So Asbury Park is 102, by the way, which is where Springsteen. So anyway, I want to move on and talk about Princeton University. So the Parkway and Turnpike, I guess you could say you would want to visit them, but in terms of actual destinations, Princeton University has got to be on your list. So, or I should say the town of Princeton. So there's the town of Princeton, which is in New Jersey, and Princeton University is in the town of Princeton. But they're two very kind of different places when you go onto the university. So Princeton itself is a charming town, best known as the home of Princeton University. This world-renowned Ivy League institution, founded in 1746, significantly shapes the town's character, lending it a vibrant intellectual and cultural atmosphere. Behind the university, Princeton offers a quaint downtown area with many diverse shops, restaurants, and historical sites. The presence of the university also contributes to the town's beautiful architectures and green squares. While the university is central to Princeton's identity, the town also maintains a distinct character, offering a blend of academic energy and small town charm. So as you can see here, go on.
Want me to move it ahead?
No. I want to talk about Princeton for a moment.
Oh, okay.
So this is Nassau Hall, and you can see the distinguished ivy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, got it.
Sorry. No, go back one.
Back one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. So that's not Nassau Hall right there. And Princeton is an Ivy League school, the only Ivy League school in New Jersey. So it's a beautiful town and an incredible university. And we have friends here in Summit. We're in Summit, New Jersey, who rode on the Princeton crew team. And it's really distinguished. Have either of you ever been down to Princeton?
I have. Have you, Lisa?
I have. A couple times, but a long time ago. I don't know if it has stayed the same or if it's changed a lot in 10 years.
It was beautiful. I took Jack there for a college visit. It was beautiful.
It's gorgeous. It feels, it's not that big, right? It's kind of like,
yeah, you're right. You're totally right. It's a very manageable, walkable campus.
And I love the downtown in Princeton.
Yeah, me too. It's beautiful.
I love the school. It makes me feel like you just feel smart being there.
Yeah. And back to like what we were talking about, the charming towns of New Jersey, that New Jersey gets a bad rap sometimes, right? To your point, Keith, about what exit are you from? But some of the towns, the suburban, beautiful, charming towns, they'll rival anything in New England any day, I think.
They're gorgeous. And it's very sad because we talked about the turnpike there. New Jersey historically had a lot of pharmaceutical industry. And you'll see some of that as you drive up the turnpike, and some of it's a little smelly, and you think, oh, well, this is New Jersey, but that's just a very, very small industrial part of New Jersey. There's beautiful towns and incredible history here in the state.
Totally right.
Okay, and if you scroll ahead one slide, I have to, as we move on from Princeton, I have to mention Rutgers University. So this is the old Queen's Arch, and I graduated from Rutgers, and when you graduate, you walk through this arch. It's kind of a rite of passage. I got my bachelor's degree from
Love that.
It's gorgeous.
And so Rutgers is the state university of New Jersey. In my not so humble opinion, it's on par with Princeton, to be totally honest with you, both academically and in terms of its beauty. So put this on your bucket list. You should go to New Brunswick. It's got a great college downtown feel to it. The university is massive. The main campus is called Rutgers College. They changed a lot of this, but very walkable. And I think about 40,000 people go to Rutgers. There's a Newark campus and a Camden campus. So I had to mention my alma mater.
Now, I find like a lot of New Jersey kids don't want to go there because it's in New Jersey, but yet it's such a great school. And a lot of people from out of state die to go there. It's another hidden gem of New Jersey.
Exactly. Bucket list.
And you know what's really interesting? Okay, so just dating way back, my aunt, or like one of my third cousins, so she's probably 20 years older than me. She's in her 70s. When she went to Rutgers, it was free when she was in.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. It was free?
Free.
Wow.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When I went, I had a huge discount. I had a scholarship as well as discounts, and that's when it really enabled me to attend. I was able to pay for quite a bit of it myself because they offer a lot of benefits to those who stay in state. So
I love it. I love it.
Well, and you know what Rutgers doesn't do, which a lot of the colleges are now doing, which I think they should do. So Wisconsin, Georgia, they're starting to make give their in-state kids auto admission if you're in the top 5%. So of your state, you automatically get admitted.
I didn't know that.
That's a good idea. I like that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they should do that for kids in New Jersey because I bet you they'd go to Rutgers.
They would. That would be great. Love that.
Great point. Great point. Okay. Next, Washington's Trail. So when Lisa asked me to do this, I really had to think about things that are unique to New Jersey. So some people said, oh, you can go to the mountains in the Delaware Water Gap, and they're beautiful. They're the Appalachian Mountains. But, you know, if you're going to go see mountains, you go to Colorado. Or if you're going to go skiing, yes, you can ski in New Jersey. But if you're going to go skiing on the East Coast, at least, you go to Vermont or, again, out in the Rockies. So something that New Jersey has to offer is the George Washington's Retreat Across New Jersey Trail. Okay, so let me read my little blurb here from GPT. The Washington Rochambeau, French, Revolutionary Route National Historic Trail marks the 600 miles of land and water trails that follow the route taken by General Washington and General Rochambeau to and from the siege of Yorktown. The portion of this National Historic Trail that runs through New Jersey follows the same routes that the American and French troops took in 1781 and 1782. During the Revolutionary War, General George Washington and his Continental Army traversed New Jersey extensively. Their movements crucial to the fight for independence. From retreats across the state following defeats to strategic victories, New Jersey became a key battleground. Washington's famous Christmas Day crossing of the Delaware River into Trenton and the subsequent victory there, along with the Battle of Princeton, marked turning points in the war, boosting morale and demonstrating the Army's resilience. These campaigns through New Jersey solidified Washington's leadership and ultimately contributed to American victory. So here we have something that is unique in the world to New Jersey, where Washington went from, and I think it's appropriate to actually quickly read the towns. So from Fort Lee to Hackensack, Aquachunkanunk, Newark, Elizabethtown, which is now Elizabeth, New Jersey, Rahway, Perth Amboy, Brunswick, which is part of the Brunswicks. There's different Brunswick. Kingston, Rocky Hill, Princeton, Trenton, and into McConkey's Ferry. And while he also did camp in Morristown for a winter or two, I believe. So I don't know. Have you been to any of these towns? Have you seen any of the sites on Washington's historic trail?
I've been to those towns, but I haven't. But I was just going to ask you about Morristown. I always thought the trail went right through Morristown.
I did too.
Yeah. So did I. I pulled this map off as I was doing my research, and I think this might be the actual official trail. And for some reason, Morristown here is omitted, but I know that they did camp in Morristown. Actually, if you want to flip to the next slide, I want to talk
about Jockey Hollow, I think, right? I don't know. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so this is Fort Nonsense in Morristown. Do
we know why it's called Fort Nonsense?
Yeah, so here's my blurb on this. During the Revolutionary War, General George Washington and his Continental Army traversed New Jersey extensively. Their movements crucial to the fight for independence. Fort Nonsense. Okay. So Fort Nonsense was a site where George Washington and his army camped for 2 years. Now, the reason they call it Fort Nonsense is that they built this fort and they really had nothing to do. So as it goes, it was never involved in any actual military activity. So the rumor has it that George Washington just kind of built this fort to keep his troops busy. There was really no good reason to build it. As you can see, it was on the top of a hill and offered a beautiful view. Yeah. And they do reenactments up there.
Really?
Yeah, people will
I would love that.
Yeah, in continental gear and they're in the old military uniforms and have fake gunfights. So
I would love that.
Put this one on your bucket list.
I'm putting it on mine.
And Keith, you're making me think, and I can't find it while you were talking, but Beacon Hill, I thought Beacon Hill and Summit was an overlook site at one point.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I would believe it.
Yeah, we'll have to put it in the footnotes. Oh, yeah. I think I found it. Well, you keep going. I'll come back to this, but I think I believe that there was something that it was an overlook site to see when the British troops were coming.
Okay. Yeah, so as the notes say, George Washington walked all around. He came through New Jersey, and these are the main towns that he went through. But there's a lot of Revolutionary War history here in the state of New Jersey that really no other state in the Union has to offer. And So before we go on, I want to mention they also have a Fort Nonsense Brewing Company in Randolph. So if you want to go out and drink a homebrew, you can go out there, and which I think is a great name for a brewery. Fort Nonsense.
It really is.
A place to waste time.
I've heard of that brewery, although I haven't been there. But when you first put Fort Nonsense, I was wondering if you were talking about the brewery or not. That's kind of cool.
No, this is Fort Nonsense in Morristown.
Love it. Love it.
I love it. Wait, can I just read this really quick, you guys?
Yeah, of course.
On Hobart Avenue, we're Beacon
Scroll
Hill.
back.
Laura. So for Beacon Hill, do you guys know where I'm talking about? Where Beacon
Hill Summit, right?
Yep. It says that at 226 Hobart Avenue, old SO cannon and signal beacon plaque. This plaque marks the site of a signal beacon, which I was saying, I think they were creating signals, about the troops, and a cannon called the Old SO. Both were used to alert, here you go, local militiamen to action during times of attack and danger during the Revolutionary War, most notably during two important battles which occurred in the area in June 1780, the Battle of Connecticut Farms and the Battle of Springfield. And I'll just say this, I'll close with this. The signal beacon and cannon were placed in this location because it's on a hill within the Watchung Mountains, and so it could be seen from a distance. Although the plaque states 1776, the signal beacon was most likely put here in late 1777. Around the same time, several other signal beacons were placed in locations around central New Jersey along the Watchung Mountains, Morristown, Long Hill, and Bound Brook. So anyway.
Cool.
Well, thank you.
So my memory serves me correctly. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't giving wrong information.
Super cool.
I'll have to swing by and take a look. I did not know that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of beacons in this area. So now I know the history as to why. Okay, next, the Pine Barrens. A vast expanse of forest in southern New Jersey is a unique and ecologically vital region, covering over 1 million acres. It's the largest remaining example of the Atlantic coastal pine barrens ecosystem. Its sandy, acidic soil supports a diverse range of plant and animal life, including rare species like the pygmy pitch pine, it's a little tongue twister, and the Pine Barrens tree frog. The area's history is intertwined with the Pineys, residents who have adapted to this challenging environment. The Pine Barrens also plays a crucial role filtering and replenishing groundwater supplies, making it essential natural resource for the state.
And that's wetlands, right? Is that wetlands right there? That picture?
That picture is, I believe that's actually fires where the trees have burned out. So as you drive down the parkway sometimes, or even the turnpike, down between, we're talking exits 98 down through to Atlantic City, 30s, I think, 32. That spans the whole Pinelands, and there's a lot of fires. They do burn, and sometimes you'll see smoke as you drive through. And so the Pine Barrens is a very interesting part of New Jersey. So this is a feature of more southern New Jersey. So nobody really knows the line between North and South Jersey. It's all kind of relative, but I think we can agree that the Pine Barrens is in the southern region. And it's beautiful. There's hiking, fishing. You can go mushroom hunting. You can go look at the different trees there. You can see the wildlife in the Pine Barrens. So if you're into outdoorsy stuff, it's just unparalleled. It's fantastic.
Cool. How many bodies, Keith? How many bodies do you think are discarded there?
A lot.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think. Right.
I think that was mentioned in
The Sopranos.
The Sopranos, yes. They said, we're going to go out to the Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
It's
Jimmy Hoff is in there somewhere.
I think Jimmy Hoff is up north, actually.
Yeah, he's underneath the Meadowlands.
That's the rumor, exactly. So aside from the actual the trees in the forest, etc., there's a community of people called the Pineys who live in the Pine Barrens. And as I was driving one day, I saw a bumper sticker that said, "I'm a Piney, so kiss my hiney." So
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, so a little bit of an Appalachian feel. I haven't actually met anyone from the Pine Barrens. I'm sure they're very nice people. And I should mention that they do offer tours of the Pine Barrens. So there's some old industry and old factories and old abandoned towns in the Pine Barrens. It's really a great place to visit and needs to be on your bucket list.
Love that.
Have you ever been there, either of you?
Just past it on the parkway, I think.
Yeah. Going down to LBI, right?
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And so you gotta add that one to your bucket list. And before we leave this, I just want to drop a mention here. We're going to talk about this in a moment. Is the New Jersey Devil. So the New Jersey Devil is allegedly from the Pine Barrens. He lives there, and it is some sort of, I guess you call it, a mythological creature. And of course, this is what the New Jersey Devils hockey team was named after. So,
hence your jersey.
Did people?
Yes.
Is it because they said they saw the devil there? Is that why? Like.
Now, the legend of the Jersey Devil, I don't know. We might have to Google or GPT this. I'm not entirely sure. What I said is what I know is that there's some creature there. I don't know its actual history. I should have actually researched.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you. Here, I got.
Oh, okay,
Google,
good. You got it.
Google knows everything. It says the Jersey Devil is a mythical creature that is said to live in New Jersey Pine Barrens. The legend has been around for over 250 years, which, I mean, Jersey is going to be celebrating 250 years pretty soon, right? This year or next year. The New Jersey Devil is said to have had a horse-like head, a body that is part man and part animal, and bat-like wings. It's said to have a long tail, cloven feet, and horns, and to prowl the marshes and emerge at night to scare humans away with its screams. It's said to be I don't know what this means, but it says the Jersey Devil is said to be the unwanted 13th child of Mother Leeds. Do we know who Mother Leeds is? I feel like.
Oh, but doesn't sound attractive.
Yeah. One myth leads to a question on another. According to the legend, Miss Leeds cursed the unborn baby to disgust, and the child was born with wings, hooves, and a tail, and a thirst for animal blood.
Gross.
That's scary.
Gross.
It is. I agree.
Not a pretty mental picture.
So note to self, only tour the Pine Barrens during the day.
Right?
Not at night.
For sure. Good point.
And bring garlic with you.
Yeah.
All right. So that's why with this.
All right. Next, we're going to take a little plunge here into the food and the cuisine of New Jersey. So I want to talk about pork roll. Okay. This is a topic very near and dear to my heart. Okay. So if you ever come to New Jersey, there's sort of this controversy where people from North Jersey eat Taylor ham and people from South Jersey eat pork roll. So I want to clear up any misconceptions about this. So first of all, Taylor ham is a form of pork roll. And think of pork roll as just like kind of a thick sausage, okay? But that being said, I'm going to read my little blurb here. John Taylor created pork roll in Trenton, New Jersey in 1856. Believe that, 1856. He originally sold it as Taylor's Prepared Ham, but due to the Pure Food and Drug Act of 1906, he had to change the name since it didn't meet the legal definition of ham. The new name was pork roll, and it quickly became a popular breakfast staple in New Jersey. Today, it remains a beloved regional food, often served on a roll with egg and cheese. And yes, and in celebration of my podcast with you today, I had a pork roll, egg, and cheese for breakfast this morning from Summit Diner. It was delicious.
What's your favorite? Where do you think they serve the best pork roll or Taylor ham, egg, and cheese sandwich?
Oh, well, the Summit Diner, as I said.
Yeah.
But I mean, I live in Summit, so that's something that, anyone would probably say a place in their hometown.
Yeah, my kids say Pascarella Brothers in Chatham.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
One.
Go there tomorrow morning.
They love it.
Now, okay, so in terms of brands of pork roll, as you can see, that's Taylor ham, which is a brand of pork roll, which is very good. I actually like Smalls's pork roll, which is a regional pork roll. They're out of Union or Springfield, New Jersey. They're kind of on the border, just south of 22. And I think that Schmaltz's has a little bit better mouthfeel. It's not quite as salty, and it's got a nice texture. And on the nose, it's really smells great as you fry it up. So if you haven't had it, I would recommend Schmaltz's pork roll.
I haven't had it.
Yeah. Well, you get into these artisan and regional pork rolls, and I consider myself to be a bit of a connoisseur of pork rolls. So, I mean, Taylor ham, you can't go wrong with Taylor ham pork roll. It's fantastic. I mean, it's the original, but there's a lot of up and coming pork rolls, and I think you should really take the time to try them.
Yeah. Awesome. Good advice.
There you go. It's a family favorite here. Town Deli is definitely our favorite.
Oh, you like the town? Yeah, Town Deli is good too.
I mean, and they put hot sauce. My son orders it with hot sauce, ketchup, salt, pepper. Like it's really delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What should we? You know what? As long as we're on the topic of food, there's a few other things. The Taylor ham pork roll thing I want. It's kind of a funny. We all kind of joke about it here in Jersey. But there's a couple of other things. There is a sloppy Joe. So the sloppy Joe here in New Jersey is not the manwich, the red chili on a hamburger bun. A sloppy Joe here in New Jersey has turkey or ham, Russian dressing, and coleslaw. So it's usually a triple-decker sandwich, and they've written articles on this.
And they are crowd pleasers.
Yeah, they're very, very good.
Totally. It took me a little while to figure that out, though, because being from Colorado, I was like, this is definitely not a sloppy Joe with turkey.
Right.
It is confusing.
Yeah.
I actually,
those platters, like with the little mini ones, they're always a big hit at any party.
Can't go wrong. They're delicious. Saltwater taffy from, I believe that's Atlantic City or Cape May. Oh, forgive me. I should know this, right? Do you know where saltwater taffy is actually made? I think it was Cape May.
Ocean City?
I thought it was, Ocean City or Cape May.
Ocean City. Okay. Yeah, I apologize.
Yeah.
So saltwater taffy is another New Jersey thing. So you kind of get that down the shore.
Yeah.
And I should also mention blueberries and cranberries. So Hamilton, New Jersey, blueberry capital of the world. I have a good friend who owns a distillery in Hamilton, New Jersey, and he distills blueberries and makes different types of vodkas and drinks out of it. And so there's just so many blueberries in the state, blueberry capital of the world.
Love that. What about pizza? What's your favorite pizza in New Jersey, Keith?
Okay, pizza. Now, that's a tough question. Why don't you go ahead? Let me think about it.
I love the Reservoir Tavern pizza. I was going to say that's a bucket list item, I think. In Boonton, the Reservoir Tavern has the best pizza, I think.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to try it. You know what? Summit opened a place called Square. I love it. I don't know. It's not really technically probably Jersey pizza, but it is so good.
Oh, I got to try that. I heard that was good.
SQR.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to know, Keith, you're vindicated. Laura, you and I'm glad that Keith is here keeping us honest. Saltwater taffy originated in Atlantic City.
Okay, it was Atlantic City.
It's a soft, chewy candy that's a popular boardwalk snack.
Love that.
Yeah. So
what about other favorite foods? What about the custard on the boardwalk? That is such a New Jersey thing. It's not soft serve. It's not gelato. It's not Italian ice, but the real custard on the boardwalk. That's like a total New Jersey thing, I think.
Right. Well, anything on the boardwalk, in my opinion, we're going to talk about boardwalks in a minute here, because I think it's kind of associated with the Jersey Shore, which is just a beautiful place to be,
especially
during the summer.
Is Jersey known for burgers? Because I'm going to tell you, I think we get some pretty darn good cheeseburgers here.
What's your favorite cheeseburger, Lisa?
I mean, one with mushrooms on it. But I love River Grill. I like Committed Pig. I love burgers, and I think Jersey always has big burgers.
Yeah,
they're always fresh.
So I like the Committed Pig, the one with the fig on it, the fig jam. That's a good one.
I've never had that.
It's delicious.
I usually get the pork roll, egg and cheese. They have a whole pork roll, egg and cheese, or Taylor ham, egg and cheese section on their menu.
Nice.
I also think Committed Pig has a burger with a donut on it. Am I dreaming that? Yeah.
No, you're probably right. I haven't been there in a while.
I haven't either. Maybe I'm due. All right. Sorry, Keith. We're digressing.
Oh, that's okay. We talk about food all day. All right. Now, as we get down here, this is number 2 on my list. So number 3, we're almost at the end, was pork roll versus Taylor ham. We need to talk about the New Jersey Devils. And I have, as you can see, I got my Brodeur jersey on here. I don't know if you can see the back or not.
Yeah.
But Brodeur was a goalie, and he won 3 Stanley Cups. And that's him right there. That's Brodeur. He was on an episode of Seinfeld where they parodied him, if you recall. The Devils, the Devils, the Devils.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, he painted his face, and Elaine looked at him and said, "Are you nuts, right?"
Yeah.
You got to support the team. And I would agree with him. You do have to paint your face once in a while. So, but setting aside the episode of Seinfeld, we have this thing here in New Jersey with sports teams, and it really irritates me, okay? We really do live in the shadow of Manhattan, New York City, and to some extent Philadelphia. And this is reflected in the names of the sports team. So you've got the New York Giants and Jets, which are football, the New York Yankees and Mets, which are baseball, the New York Rangers and Islanders, which are hockey, the New York Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets, of course, Brooklyn being in New York. So all of the major sports teams are New York. And for whatever reason, everybody, I like the New York Jets. There's been a lot of talk about how they should be really the New Jersey Jets. And ironically, both of the football teams play here in New Jersey at the Meadowlands, which
I know.
And then
get no love.
This kind of hits a nerve with me. And then if you go down to South Jersey, you got Philly. You've got the Philadelphia Flyers and the Phillies and the 76ers. And of course, the Philadelphia Eagles just won the Super Bowl here in 2025. And so if you look across all these sports teams, the New Jersey Devils are really the only New Jersey team. You say that again. New Jersey Devils are the only New Jersey team. And this was a bit of a heartbreaker for me. Moving from Buffalo, New York, I was a Sabres fan, a Buffalo Sabres fan. But when I saw this, I said, I have to switch teams. And so the Devils are now my number one team. You know, given the history of the New Jersey Devil and 3 Stanley Cups, you know, I bought the Brodeur jersey. So I don't know if you have any opinions on the sports team.
I think that's true. I thought we had the New Jersey Nets, but at basketball, but they moved to Brooklyn.
They're now the Brooklyn Nets.
I guess that shows how well I keep up with basketball.
It is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
So if you come to New Jersey, you got to put that on your bucket list. Go and see a Devils game and get yourself in
New Jersey Devils.
Yeah. So Devils, a big hockey fan. All right, let's move on here. And so as we come to our number one, when I asked pretty much everyone I asked, and I said, what's special about New Jersey? And they said, well, the Jersey Shore. Yeah, okay, gotcha. Every single person said that. And so I spent a little extra time here on the Jersey Shore, and I'm going to highlight 3 specific towns: Asbury Park, Atlantic City, and Cape May. Okay, now every single one of those coastal towns on New Jersey has its own personality, its own history, and a lot of them have personal memories for me. So I'll start with Asbury Park, New Jersey, which is home to Convention Hall. Bruce Springsteen got his start down in this area. John Bon Jovi, Southside Johnny, and the Asbury Jukes used to play down here all the time. And it's an absolutely beautiful boardwalk, very wide, great place to go in the summer. So
this location has the arcade, right?
It does.
Yeah. It's fun. It's like one of the vintage arcades. Have you ever gone there, Laura?
Mm-hmm. I go to Asbury Park quite a bit. My sister lives in Monmouth Beach, so she's not too far from there.
Right. So nice. Asbury Park.
I love it.
Well, the question is, you know, where are you going to go when you go down the Jersey Shore? And you can drive right down Ocean Avenue. I lived down the shore for about 15 years.
Which part?
I was in Avon by the Sea.
Nice.
It's not Avon. It's not the makeup company. It's Avon by the Sea. I lived in Bradley Beach, and I lived in Neptune, which is a little bit inland from the shore. Yeah, but for about 10 years, I had an ocean view. And when I was in my mid-20s to mid-30s, and I just had the time of my life. There's three seasons down the shore, if you think about it that way. Memorial to Labor Day, which is how the rentals run.
Right.
So you get this influx of people. We call them Bennies or Benjis. And if you're not familiar with that term, those letters stand for Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, New Jersey. If it's Benji, it's Jersey City and New York. So those letters all kind of mixed together, which is groups of people that come down for the shore for the summer and rent from Memorial to Labor Day. Then you got your holiday season, which goes through Thanksgiving and Christmas, and then January, February, and March it is just dead down the shore.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool.
It is. I think. If you're down during those times.
I think it's kind of cool.
And to feel those storms in the winter roll off the Atlantic Ocean, because there's no break wall, and it's just boom, the whole house would just shake. So
it shows you the power and the might of the ocean. You know what's cool near Asbury Park, Keith? What I think is Ocean Grove, right near that, with that little community of like they're like little camp tents, summer camp tents, right?
Yeah,
I think that is so adorable. And then in the winter, like they just come down, right? So they go up and then they come down. It's really very unique. There's not too many places you'll find like that.
Okay, so just for a little perspective, these are little, I guess you call them bungalows near the Great Auditorium in Ocean Grove, which has a deep Christian Protestant history to it. So it's a dry town. There are no bars. You cannot
no booze, right?
No booze in that town. And so what people will do is they'll come down, and there's these little bungalows. They're basically little studio, I wouldn't call them apartments, but they put up little tarps over them and decorate them. They're really beautiful. I tried to get one, but I was told that these get handed down from generation to generation.
Yeah, I heard that too.
There's a waiting list of 50 years. So maybe if it put my name on a list, my grandkids would maybe get one more day. It's a lot of fun though. The Great Auditorium, can't miss it. It's got these old Victorian buildings. Ocean Grove, a lot of fun.
Cool stuff.
So if you want to flip to the next slide, we'll talk about.
I will say though, I love the ocean, you guys, and the shore, the Jersey Shore, but in the summer, I hate driving down there. I just can't stand that traffic. That's my only catch on that.
Yeah. Take the train, make things a little easier, right?
You got to go or weird times. Weird times.
Yeah. So the second town I want to highlight here is Atlantic City, of course, New Jersey's version of Las Vegas. And so here it is. I used to go down when I studied mathematics, and I took a class called game theory once. And we all went down, people from class, we're going to go to Atlantic City and we're going to win all this money. Well, we didn't, but we still had a great time going down there. So Atlantic City, I had a girlfriend, my college girlfriend was down in near Atlantic City in a town called Margate. And it's a lot of fun to visit. They have limos that go down there. I don't know if either of you are gamblers or like to go down to DC.
I am. And I would put on my bucket list playing craps at the Borgata. I think everybody's got to play craps at the Borgata. It's super fun. At our last summit we had, Assemblyman Brian Bergen and I think we were playing till like 4 a.m, but we had more laughs we had so much fun that night and just so many laughs. But to me, everybody should play craps in Atlantic City. Bucket list.
I don't play craps. I don't know how to play, but
really, I'm shocked. You're not a gambler? I'm being
I like
sarcastic.
Blackjack. What's that?
I'm being sarcastic because I know you're not a gambler type.
I feel like we're in politics. We gamble every day.
Yeah. Too funny.
Very true.
But Atlantic City is great.
It is great.
And not just the gambling, but just the history. That's where the Miss America pageant was, right? Forever.
Good point. Yes.
There's a lot of nostalgia and a lot of history there. After seeing all these slides, I'm really convinced more than ever. New Jersey really is the best state in the union.
Second. Hard second.
I will tell you, we were looking when our kids were really little. We looked to potentially move to Colorado because, being from there, I was kind of like, it would be nice to go back. Everybody's always like, what are you doing in New Jersey? What if you grew up in Colorado? But I'll tell you, when we went back and we visited Colorado, what really stuck out to me is these towns on the train line, all the little towns together, walking our kids to school. Everything is just located at the, in walking distance. If you want to walk, driving is really close. There's something really unique and special about how people live out here and how they create communities. And all these towns, I just feel like we all know each other. I don't know. It's very unique.
It's a great place to raise children. Especially, I think, especially like our part of New Jersey, it's just a great place. I'm very grateful for that. And even the neighborhoods, people are out walking. Like in Colorado, there was no one, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but there was like no one out walking in their neighborhoods. No one was walking their dogs. I don't know why. Maybe it was just a cold day, but anyway, I think Jersey. Even like I know Lisa and my kids are like somewhat the same age. Mine are a little older, but I don't know if yours are younger, Keith, or if you have kids, I don't even know. But when we used to take them trick-or-treating when they were little, that was like the most fun night of the year with all the parents and everybody walking and talking. It was very Hallmark movie-ish, I thought.
Yeah.
At least in Chatham. I loved it.
In Summit, Blackburn Place is known for the place to go for kids and candy. And all the parents set up in their driveways. Everybody's has like little parties going on.
Yeah,
and the kids
best.
they just jump, from yard to yard to yard. You're not worried. It is so fun.
It's a great place to raise a family.
True. And a lot of people from New York City settled in New Jersey. They might, when they're in their 20s and single and looking for someone, they'll party in Manhattan and then maybe move out to Staten Island and get a little 2-bedroom or something, and then end up in New Jersey because it's commutable from New York. As we said, you can get to the Delaware Water Gap and hike or ski in the mountains. Right. You can go down the shore. You can get into Manhattan and New York City if you want to, or if you want to go south down to Delaware, Washington, D.C. It's just a great place to be, north of Boston.
It's a little state, but it's mighty.
I think of it as like almost a little California in some ways. We've got Netflix that is moving into the old Fort Monmouth, which is around exit 105 in Eatontown. So we'll soon have a movie production company here in New Jersey. So interesting.
Exciting. Mm-hmm.
So
all right, what's next? I know.
Well, I'm just about at the end. I should read my little blurb about the Jersey Shore, and then we'll talk about Cape May. The New Jersey Shore, a 130-mile stretch of coastline, is a beloved destination known for its sandy beaches, vibrant boardwalks, and charming towns. From Sandy Hook to Cape May, each shore town offers unique atmosphere, attracting families, couples, and thrill seekers alike. Beyond sunbathing and swimming, the shore offers a variety of activities, including fishing, surfing, and boating. Historic lighthouses dot the coast, while amusement parks and arcades provide entertainment. The Jersey Shore's iconic boardwalks, lined with shops and eateries, are a quintessential part of the experience, creating lasting memories for visitors. And so I am way up there on that list. Every single one of those exits. I used to, when I lived down the shore, go out in the morning, get up early before work, 5 a.m., catch a fish in the ocean. I knew where all the fish were. Bring it home and cook it for breakfast. And that was my breakfast. Fresh, no fresher than that. They used to have huge volleyball tournaments down the shore, the AVP, and I played in a couple of tournaments when I was down there. The beaches, of course, and it's also just a very fun place to be. When you're up north near Manhattan, people are more in work mode and raising family mode. But when you go down the shore, everybody's open to having a lot of fun and meeting.
Agree. And Cape May is particularly known for how festive it gets at Christmas time. Talk about a Hallmark movie. Yeah, Hallmark Christmas movie. The town goes all out. Everybody, every house, every store goes all out decorating. There's carolers in the street. There's horse-drawn carriages. It's a beautiful place to be in the holidays. And a special shout out again to Curtis Bashaw. He renovated Congress Hall, which is a 100-year-old old hotel. The job that he did on this. Have you guys been to Congress Hall?
I haven't yet.
Oh, it is stunning. It's stunning. It's definitely a bucket list item to go down there and check it out.
You know what I find fascinating about Jersey? If you look at a map, I was actually looking at a map the other day, the amount of water, along the edges of New Jersey, I would say 3/4 of the state, the outer edges, obviously not the interior, are touching an ocean or a bay.
I know, we're a peninsula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
It is. Another great thing about Jersey.
Yeah. Wait, are you going to talk about one last thing? Because I know we're running out of time. I can't believe it's already 4:30.
Wow.
Are you going to talk about the jug handle? Because that.
Oh, yeah. An honorable mention to the jug handle. So in New Jersey, you got to go right to go left. So you're not allowed to get in the left-hand turn lane and make a left turn. What you got to do, and you'll see it, it's a sign that says, all turns from right lane, or left turn, keep right.
I don't like the jug handle. I do not like the jug handle.
When my family first moved here and they were getting to know the roads in the days before Google Maps, they would just kind of drive around. And I remember my father cursing, why can't I make a left turn? And he was one of these guys sitting in the middle of some busy highway with his left turn signal on, everybody screeching past him and beeping, because you have to do a jug handle. So just remember, in New Jersey, you got to go right to go left.
Yeah, so it's annoying. Hey, I have a couple of things that I put down that you didn't mention, but some of the ones I put down you did, like the boardwalk stuff and Patterson Falls and the plane craps in Borgata. But have you guys ever been to Stevens College in Hoboken and go up to Castle Hill? That is like the most beautiful Castle Point. I'm sorry, the most beautiful view of Manhattan you could ever see. And my oldest son went to school at Stevens, and it's one of the most beautiful campuses, even though he didn't want to go there. It ended up being wonderful. But you go up and you walk up to the top, and it is a stunning view. You are on a cliff overlooking the city. And if you ever want to go to watch the fireworks in Manhattan, it's a perfect location. Have you guys been there?
No.
It's worth it.
I have a good friend who graduated from Stevens, and he took me up there, and I almost actually bought a condo up there, because it's beyond that point. There's a whole, there's miles of condos that sit right along that hillside on the other side of Manhattan, on the west side of Manhattan, if you will. And so I couldn't agree more. It's a beautiful site, and
it's gorgeous.
It's a great place to sit.
It's a great thing to do. You could just go there and then grab some food. The other thing worth mentioning, I think, is Lake Hoboken. Have you been there, Keith? Lake Hoboken is a beautiful lake. I mean, I don't want to date myself, but when I was little, there was an amusement park there called Bertrand's Island. And when I was in high school, my high school boyfriend, I'll give him a shout out, Jerry Donnelly. My grandmother used to call him Jerry. He used to take me to the windlass. So they have these restaurants on the lake where the boats actually come right up, just like down the shore kind of. And the people come out of the boats and they either eat outside or they eat inside, and there's music. Lake Hoboken is a very, very wicked cool part of New Jersey. And what else do I have here?
I agree. It's beautiful. A friend of ours bought a house on the lake during COVID. And they just back in, you look out their window, you walk down some stairs, there's boats at dock. Oh, the kids.
And the last thing I have worth mentioning is, because I take this trip quite often from Chatham or even from Summit, if you go the back way and you drive out to Long Valley, like going through Harding Township and Mendham and the Chesters, it is stunning, especially in the fall. There are times in the fall when I take that road and I literally stop my car and I take pictures because it's so beautiful and picturesque. And again, it goes to the point where people that give New Jersey a bad rap, they really have never taken that drive, and they've never seen all these fabulous things that you put together, Keith.
Right. So I hope that after viewing this podcast and looking at some of the slides that I put together, that this will change your perspective and you're thinking about New Jersey, and that it's a lot more than Exit 13W on the Turnpike. There's a whole lot more to see. It is called the Garden State for a reason.
I love it. Hey, and to our viewers and listeners, if you guys have something that we missed, let us know. Either comment on the links on YouTube or on Spotify, or send us an email. What's our email? lasquaredbroadcast@gmail.com. And we'll give you a shout out at our next podcast. But if you have any things that we missed, let us know. Yeah. But Keith, you are awesome. Thank you. You got to come back.
Well, you are both awesome as well. And thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you for joining us.
Keith. I enjoyed this. It was great.
Too. It was super fun. All right. Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of the day.
Have a great President's Day weekend.
Yeah, and happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.